Hey, welcome back YouTubers. Today I've got a CUB CADET snowblower in the shop. Customer brought it to me, says it only runs on choke. Instead of wasting time cleaning the carburetor that may actually end up leaking fuel in the engine crankcase, customer just wants me to go ahead and put a new carburetor. I did tell him by putting in a new carburetor it will shave down on the estimated time that he will have to wait to get his machine back, because I keep a lot of these carburetors in stock. I only use the OEM carburetors from CUB CADET to do this. I'm shaving down time, customer will get it back more quickly, and it is a much better repair. It's the right way to do it. So I'm going to get right into this repair right now. Okay, here it is. It has the 420cc engine. These are good engines, by the way, they never blow up. If we get a crazy winter like last year here in Muskoka, I would recommend changing the oil twice. If you blow driveway for customers, change it 2-3 times every year. So the carburetor on this machine is right here. I will pop this off. Now the oil is draining. I will put some 5W30 in that, but in the meantime, I'll tackle the carburetor. So I will remove all these bolts here, 10mm heads. One here, one there, one down here. And I believe there's one right here. First of all, I'm going to show you how to pop the choke knob off. So to pop the choke knob off, you can just go underneath with a flat screwdriver and pry it up like that. And now I'm going to get all these bolts here with the 10mm heads off. And then you've got one over here. So a ratcheting 10mm wrench works really well. Now grab the cover, pull it up. And what works good to get this out of here is you line up the throttle knob right here. There's a notch in the cover. See, now it can go over the throttle knob. You don't need to get the throttle knob off. Now on some of these you literally have to loosen one of the handlebars, actually on the left hand side at the bottom, to be able to get the carb off. I'll find that out quite soon. But first let's get this cover off. They're always sometimes a bit problematic to get off. There we go. So I will pull off the primer line here, and I will actually be replacing that line. It's quite tight on there. This is a breather line right here. This is your choke shaft, and the fuel line's over here. So I will drain the fuel before replacing that carb. So that's the next thing I'm doing right now. First of all, I will put the oil plug back on here on the tube. And I will put some 5W30 oil in the engine. It's under 1 liter or 1 quart. You can see the old oil was quite black. And at the front here, I had it actually tilted up to make it easier to drain the oil. So I'm just going to take this off and then just fill her up properly. Now you can put synthetic if you want. I'm just using conventional oil here. Okay, let's check the oil that I've put in. And this is what you want. You want the oil right up at the top of the serrated marks. Don't overfill it. Now what I want to do is drain the fuel in the fuel tank. When I do a carburetor job like this, I always empty the fuel tank because I don't know what people have put in there. And I do not put pump gas back in. I put it the true fuel. Then there's no mistakes or anything, especially if they don't use the machine for 2-3 months to a year. At least I know the true fuel from the can will not plug up the carburetor in 6 months. So to get that fuel line loose, I usually grab it and turn it with a pair of pliers because sometimes they're on really, really tight. There, once you turn it a bit like this, so I've turned it on the connector, now it should come right off. So I'll just use some leverage here and pull it up like this. And I'll let it all drain out. Okay, I got all the fuel drained. Now I need to remove the carburetor. First, I better get rid of this old gas here. Okay, now to get the carburetor off, I will reach in and get the two 10mm nuts right here. And there's another one right there. So this will come right off. Now if your vent hose is stuck, do the same. Just grab it and turn it. It kind of unseizes it instead of ripping it. And now I will get this carburetor off. Just pull back, get this little spring off right here. And then get the linkage off. Just like that. See, I will have to loosen this side of the handle to get that carb off. Because as you can see, it's just about off, but it's hitting the handle. Kind of seems like it was a prank. Engineers did this to prank the mechanics. So I'll just reach down here with a 1/2" socket. I'll completely remove the top bolt so that I can pivot or lean back the handle and loosen the bottom bolt as well. And now the carb should come right off. There we go. There we go. There will be some fuel coming out, so have a rag ready. And you want to try and save these gaskets here if you can. They are reusable. And the one that goes at the front of the carb, it's still on the engine, which is good. Now I've got the old carburetor in a vise. The reason for that is to show you how to remove the choke rod here. It's clipped in at the bottom here, right on the carb. So I go in with a small screwdriver, push in the clip, and it comes out. And the carburetor that I'm using, today's part 651P05995. There will be a link in the video description as to where you can buy this carburetor. And yes, I'm using an OEM MTD CUB CADET carburetor. Now I know this is a new carburetor, and what I do before installing a new carburetor is I preemptively enlarge the small jet in here. You've seen me do that in previous videos to stop surging. You can take note of how far in this screw is screwed in. This screw is used for your idle adjustment. So I do this because even a new carb out of the box can surge. And I use a micro drill bit between 13 and 15 thousandths of an inch. I just drill it right through. Now you can get these micro drill bits on Amazon. Just do a search, micro drill bits. They usually come with this little tool here. So now I'll just put it back in the carb, and you want this piece on top. And then you want your adjustment screw right here. So I'll put this screw at about the same, just maybe a tad more, because they tend to want to idle too slow. And another thing I check is I make sure the bottom bolt is tight and the drain bolt as well. And now to get the choke rod in, just kind of line it up like this. And just pop it right in. And now what I'll do is insert the carb back on the studs in this position here. Make sure your linkages and the fuel line is out of the way. And I will have to push down on the handle to just barely fit it in there. And what I'll do is hook up the linkage right now, because it's easier when it's at this position. And then your spring goes in the small hole here. My gasket is still good there. I'll get the fuel line back on and get the fuel clamp back in its proper place. Now this gasket here goes right there. I've got it on the wrong way. This is the position. Get this hose back on as well. And since I'm replacing the primer line, I will pull it from the primer bulb from inside the cover. Now I'm going to rehook the primer line on the primer here and then on the carburetor right there. Now this plastic part goes over the carburetor. Then you've got two nuts. Now I will tighten up these nuts with a ratchet, not the impact. Now I'll tighten up the two nuts here evenly with a 10mm socket and a ratchet. And just rotate back and forth just to make sure it's on nice and even with the tightening. And what I'll do now is put the handlebar bolt back on and tighten both of them up. Okay, now let's fuel up this machine here. Today I'm using True Fuel as I always show you in the videos. Started doing this a few years ago because a lot of people get their machines from the shop and don't use them for a while. And then they'll call me and say, that snowblower or generator you fixed for me 6 months ago, I went to use it and it won't start. And that's because of pump gas. And here we go, I'm putting another cord in there. I actually had a guy the other day, I fixed his blower, put a good carb that was running really well. And I put the True Fuel in the tank before he picked it up, because I do that every time I replace a carb. Then he calls me up the next day and says that the carburetor I just put on his machine isn't working anymore. So I could confidently say, it's not my gas. You know, there could be a defect in the carburetor, but at least, you know, I put this in because I am a busy shop here. But knowing that I put the True Fuel in, I know it's not my fuel that was causing the issue at all, especially not in one day. And you can let this sit for about 2 years once the can's open, and you should not have an issue. Like I said, I've been using this stuff for like over 10 years and never had one issue whatsoever. So what I usually do once the carburetor is bolted on the machine like this, I don't put the cover back on until I've actually brought the machine outside, started it, and checked the idle speed and all that stuff to make sure that it runs properly. So I'll bring it outside, start it up, rev it up, bring it back down to idle, make sure the idle is good, and then bring it back in the shop and put the covers back on. Okay, here we are outside. I'll give it some throttle. I'll make sure that the choke here is closed and the switch is on with the throttle brought this way. Choke's on, keys in, I will prime it, and hopefully this thing runs properly. I'm going to hand pull it. I've gone too far. I wanted to check the idle, but I went to where it turned it off, so I'll start it back on. So I'll start it up again. This is as low as I'll get it to idle without it going off. So I'll leave it this way, it's perfect. I will put a new plug and then the machine will be good to go. All I have to do is put this cover back on and let's get it in the shop for that. Okay, from now on it's pretty easy. You just got to get this cover back on properly here. It's best to bring it up to the top here so you can get the choke shaft through the hole. And don't forget you got to get the throttle knob through the front here. And here's the notch that you run the throttle knob through right here. Make sure you line that up. It's a little bit awkward, but here we go. No, I like to get the choke knob on first because then it keeps the cover in place. So I think there are about 5 bolts here that hold this cover. And you want to put the longer of the bolts, the longer ones here, at the front. And it's better to go around and hand tighten all the bolts. And there's one bolt over here. That's the last one I gotta do. And this repair is completely done. One last thing I do after I put the covers is I will start it again, just to make sure nothing is blocking anything or obstructing anything under there. So I'll put the choke on, throttle's on, primer. Get the garage door open for ventilation. And there we go. All is good. Some of the key points I want to bring out for my video today is I always use OEM carburetors for my customers. Number 2, I always drain the fuel tank completely when putting in a new carburetor or doing carburetor work. And 3rd, I always throw some true fuel in the fuel tank before any machine leaves the shop that has had carburetor work done to it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have, please like it and make sure you're subscribed. Have a great day.